What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So today we're looking at the JP side of things. They have an official announcement for version 10.1. So for those of you who are not really in tune with the Japanese side of things, version 10.0 was the introduction of the Pirates Festival and their update to their whole home UI screen and all of those really good things. And we should be expecting that update, I would think, within the next 2 months on the global side. So for JP, they're having an update further on from 10.0 to 10.1 right now, and it introduces a lot of really cool stuff. Most of the updates, from what I've seen, or predominant amount of the updates, are relating to treasure map, which is good because over the past couple weeks we've discussed how we do think as a community that treasure map is the game mode that needs the most support and the most updates. And since the announcement of the new producer Yoshi-san, he's been going crazy on both, or all servers really, because of Korea as well. He's been going crazy on all servers trying to provide updates and really cool banners to be summoning on, and it goes further on here today. So let's go through all the information that's provided here. I'll also go pull up the subreddit Discord, which has some translations regarding some of the updates here. But anyways, let's go ahead and have a look. So this is the first of these pages here, version 10.1, version up. This is the treasure map screen, and the really interesting thing here, there's a couple of things that we can have a look at first, okay? So first thing is first, you can see on this screen here, Boss Luffy. This was their most, was it their most recent treasure map? No, I think they had a treasure map just before this, but either way, this was around the time of when Snake Man first released. This Luffy was the treasure map character, and they're saying, like, when you click it, it has information regarding, like what type of characters you should be bringing, I suppose. Or are those no, those aren't mini bosses. I don't know why these are suggested for this Luffy. I don't think these characters were out when Luffy came out. I digress. You can click this and it actually gives you information about the boss fight. So that's really interesting, and I really do enjoy that because on the global side of thing, for us to understand what the content is, we actually have to look at the JP side of things. Or when content first releases, the only way that you get details about what the boss does is if you literally go into the fight yourself. Luckily, we have the effect where, it costs 0 stamina to run for the first time, but on treasure map, you don't get that opportunity to do that. On JP, though, they do have the Japanese site for treasure map that comes out a couple hours prior to. But I do enjoy this because for people that aren't able to check out the website, they can go ahead into the game and they can see what the boss does straight off the bat, which I do think is a great upgrade. Now, this screen itself is a lot different. You can see it says boss up in the corner. The ship is actually located here now in the middle of the screen. You've got your 6 characters on the side there. And a really interesting thing here is that each of the glowing characters now actually has a point value right on the icon. So you can see how many points a certain character is worth. I think that's a fantastic upgrade, honestly. So that's really good to see. And also, according to the subreddit Discord, according to Blazing Gamer, designated team slots for the treasure map. I mean, I don't know how long we've been waiting for something like that, but that's fantastic. If we can have literally like a separate folder where we can have 5 or 6 different teams that we can build against each of the bosses, one for the final boss and then one for an intrusion battle, that would be epic, and it looks like that's going to be the case. So amazing updates already moving forward. Obviously, it's not exactly what we were hoping for because, yeah, it does make treasure map, I guess, a little easier, a little bit more accessible for players, but the actual act of playing treasure map hasn't changed. So that still needs some slight tweaking, but I'm sure that's going to take a little bit of time to kind of develop a better idea or an understanding of how to develop treasure map in a better way. So either way, that's a nice update straight off the bat. Moving on from that, more treasure map updates. This is relating to league assignment. So if we go over back to these translations, optional participation for the lower league treasure map. This is also pretty interesting. So it means that, if you're in the silver league, as in this example here, you can actually go down to the bronze league and play in the East Blue League if you want to do that. So I know a lot of people say, I don't want to grind too hard because I'll get upgraded into the gold league, for example, and I won't be able to play the gold league. Well, now you have an opportunity. Instead of farming in whatever league you want, you can, in the one that you're in, you can go backwards into a lot of an easier league. So even if you're in the gold league, you could jump all the way down to East Blue if you wanted to. I don't know what the repercussions of that would be. I would assume that ranking would still be in the same way if you're in the gold league, but if you're farming East Blue, which is the bronze league, your point values are going to be way less, and you're going to get way less points compared to a player that's grinding in the Gold League. But I suppose if you're grinding enough Bronze League, you'll be able to get enough points to maintain your position. Not really too sure what's going on. But either way, this is interesting, and I do think it's a nice update for those players that don't like Treasure Map all that much and want to have a little bit of an easier time. You're still able to get to 1,000,000 points. You can literally go to Bronze League and run whatever point boosters you want. You can run your full point booster team against all the bosses, no matter what. But just note that if you do that league, your point growth is going to be way less compared to the other leagues. So take it as you will, but that is an option for players. Now down below, this is also pretty interesting, especially for players like myself that do like to rank high in treasure maps. They're actually updating the ranking system. So you can see that this seems to be like the first position. It's now not like number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. It's going to be in a percentage-based system. So, you know, the top 0.1% to the top 0.5% is considered like the number 1 position. So I guess because there is a set amount of people in each league, I suppose that, you know, that would mean that only a certain amount of players would be able to reach this position anyways. Unless if there's players that literally get 0, and then that would reduce the amount of people that would be in that top percentage, or it might increase it. I don't really know. But either way, they're just changing it now so more players can reach the top tier of rewards, which I think is very interesting. Though, what we've seen on Global, I'm not really too well in tune with Treasure Map on Japan, but what we have seen on Global is that there are still issues with dealing with modders and people of that nature. So hopefully that can be dealt with a little better, because we have seen in the past, and people have literally shown videos of people using mods to play through Treasure Map and clear it faster, which obviously we don't want to see. So I really hope that takes, you know, a little bit more action in getting rid of those players. But interesting. So, you know, designated team slots, and you can see boss information. You can change whatever league you want, no matter what league you're in. So if you're in Silver League, you can play Bronze League if you want, and then the changing of the ranks. Now, moving on to the next set of information. They're getting a search bar for the character box. Dude, how long have we been waiting for this? We can now search for any character just by using text. This is a great feature, and I really hope this comes to Global relatively soon, because this is so useful, especially when you're trying to clear your character box, or if you're just building a team and you can't find a certain character rather than scrolling through and trying to locate them or filter by colors and classes. Just type in their name, and it's a lot easier to do that. What I do want to know there is, can you type in like the epithet of the character as well? Like, can you just like, you know, for example, like Log Luffy, can you type in like Log of Adventure, and then like it'll show all the like Log Straw Hats or something like that? We'll have to wait and see, but either way, great update. Something that we've been asking for a very long time. Now, this is also relating to the home UI screen. Now, you can actually edit your main team straight off the bat. So if you're on the home screen, if you guys have seen it on JP before, there's now going to be a new button, and when you click it, you can change your highlighted team, which I think is a nice touch. It's not overly needed. You can just go to the crew menu and change it, but either way, it's a nice little update, I suppose. And then this is also a big one. So there are new tablets coming to One Piece Treasure Cruise. So we're going to go through all this information here, and we'll discuss it because it's interesting. So the first tablet here is relating to special limiter. So, you know, sometimes when you're inflicted with that debuff, you can only use like 1 special per turn or 2 specials per turn. So now they're going to be introducing a new limit break ability where you can remove turns of that. Now, I don't know how usable this is going to be, and the thing is a lot of characters are already fully established with their limit breaks, so, you know, it just means that some older rare recruits that probably won't even see play are going to get this. We saw this when, you know, the Ship Despair effect and the Sailor Affected Despair abilities came out. Like, just regular rare recruits got them, and they didn't even really see play anyways, and they're just abilities that don't happen that often. So I don't really expect these to see that much play, but it's nice that they're introducing new abilities, I suppose. This one right here, the second one, this is relating to like the slot barrier, or it's not really slot bind, because slot bind is where you have no orb and it's locked out. This one is the one where whatever orb is in that position, it gets locked and cannot be changed until you hit like a perfect to break the barrier. So it's like a slot bind barrier. I don't really know what the official terminology of this thing is. But, you know, Raid Carrot. Raid Carrot was the first piece of content that introduced this debuff, and now we have a tablet that can remove some of it. Now, I would expect that this specific ability would only remove it on that specific character and not your whole team, whereas, like, special limiter would affect your whole team, of course, because that doesn't target a specific character. And then the final one is going to be, like, the reduced recovery removal, which, again, this should work for your whole team because it's not targeting a specific character, but this is good. I know, like, Raid Big Big Mom introduced this mechanic. Stampede Lucci has this mechanic as well. So just any piece of healing that you get is reduced by a certain percentage, and now we have an ability to remove it, so that's good. Now those are 3 new tablets. Now we have actually updates to previous tablets, which I do like. I've been waiting for some of these older abilities to get buffs. I think even some of the socket tomes should be updated as well, like, you know, some of the old ones like Recovery Boost or like Environmental or Resilience, those ones that no one ever uses. They should be updating those as well. I think that'd be great. But this is good because Barrier Penetration and the Enrage or the Provoked Attack are all getting updates. So what the Barrier Penetration one will do is that, you know, typically when you attack with a unit that has Barrier Penetration, when a unit attacks, it bypasses the barrier, but it doesn't actually remove the condition of the barrier. So, for example, if it's a 10 combo hit barrier and you attack with a Barrier Penetration unit, it doesn't remove any turns of that barrier. What they're doing here is now the character will reduce turns or combo hits or conditions of the barrier. So this is a great update, and it's something that honestly should have been in from day one. But this means that, like, if they've got a perfect barrier and you hit with a Barrier Penetration unit and you hit a perfect, it will reduce that barrier by 1 turn. So in certain situations where a character has Barrier Penetration but you need to break through a barrier, it can be kind of finicky. Now they're just removing that off the bat, and the character will remove turns of the barrier and will also go ahead and bypass the barrier and deal damage, which, thank God, this is such a good update to Barrier Penetration. And honestly, as it stands now, I think Barrier Penetration might be one of the best, like, potential abilities in the game. I think it might be. Then we've got Provoked Attack, which is a really interesting one that got updated. So they're just basically saying that normally, you know, after you take damage, you get more attack value. Now what they're doing is that they're actually reducing the increased damage taken. So it's really weird. I don't know if it means like you have to take damage, and then when you do take damage, turns of the increased damage taken and removed. I think it's a nice update. I don't think it was overly needed, but I think it's a nice update. It's a nice touch. Reducing increased damage taken isn't really required in a lot of content. In most situations, if you're inflicted with it, you're just going to kill the enemy, or, you know, you're not really going to be tanking damage if you have this on, because you just take way too much damage. So it's a nice update nonetheless. And then we've also got just stuff relating to the Pirate Festival. You can see certain EXP when you feed items and stuff, just stuff that should have been there from day one as well. So this is just a whole bunch of quality of life, a lot of treasure map related stuff, some abilities to search for characters, which I love, and then some updates to some tablets. So very interesting stuff. I'm really excited to see if they're going to reveal any other information, because on this as well, it does say that there are new character functions coming with the brand new update. And the really interesting thing here is that yesterday, with all the news that dropped, they revealed a new ship on Japan, and we can check it out real quick. So this is a new unlockable ship that's arriving on Japan, 24th of July, so it's going to be here tomorrow on JP. 30 gems to unlock, and this ship is actually crazy. So it reduces special charge time by 1 turn at the start, which is already really good. It increases your captain's recovery by 500, and you heal 1000 HP at the end of each turn. If your captain is Free Spirit, Slasher, or Cerebral, increase attack by 1.6. And then if there are 6 Psi characters on your crew, boost the attack by 1.1 times. And it has a special on the 10-turn cooldown to reduce Psi character special cooldowns. This is such a powerful ship, and this honestly might be one of the best ships in the game. You gotta have a Slasher, Cerebral, or a Free Spirit captain, and it's all relating to Psi as well. This is obviously meant for the new Legend lore that released, but the interesting thing about the ship, if you guys don't know, this ship belongs to X-Drake. So I would expect, potentially, maybe the new character that's going to be arriving is going to be a Psi super type legend, being X-Drake, and then the new Trafalgar lore that just dropped on all versions of the game would be a fantastic sub under X-Drake, utilizing this ship with the new Luffy and the new Sabo. I think that's what I'm expecting. I would expect and if they're going to do that, I would think that the X-Drake would be a Free Spirit powerhouse unit or a Free Spirit striker or something like that. That's what I think is going to be happening. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today, breaking down all this news. Just so much stuff happening on JP and on Global as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.